So let's talk about the bonding steps itself. Number one, remember, when this block mills, it mills in a what? A lubricated slurry, more like oil. Okay. Now, I think this is a real key. I see a lot of problems with bonding. And in my opinion, it's because nobody takes off the milling liquid before they etch. You can't etch the block. The block, if you etch, the oil will prevent the block from etching. Okay. Also, if you put on the ceramic bond won't penetrate the block if it's got oil on the surface. So you've got to remove the oil. I mean, it's simple to do as a steam cleaner. It takes 10 seconds to steam clean the thing. So I'm going to steam clean the block. Then I'm going to apply the ceramic bond for 60 seconds to the block. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the Future Bond adhesive to the prep. Now, anybody that's used Future Bond, you get the 2-pop system. You pop the 2 little pops, stick the little brush in there, activates it. What I like about that, it's fresh. It's not old. It's extremely fresh because, again, it's a single packet use. Okay, I'm going to absolutely apply that to the prep. Now, when I say apply it to the prep, I'm going nuts. I'm gonna paint 4, 5, 6, 7 coats on there. I'm gonna scrub it. I'm gonna go nuts. Okay, all over the prep. Then I'm gonna blow it dead thin, blow it off, evaporate it, and then I'm gonna apply the Bifix QM into the crown, or if it's a crown, or into the onlay in the matrix band, and then seat the restoration. Okay, I want to make sure I seat the restoration with what? I use an amalgam plugger. Since I don't do amalgams anymore, or an amalgam plugger, I push that baby in there all the way down and make sure it's completely seated. I want to clean up the excess with a bend brush, make sure all the excess is out, and make sure the margins are what? Flush. So I know it's all the way down. Then I'm going to hold it with pressure, okay, and then I'm going to cure it under pressure. This is the key. Don't let go. Hold it down because it has a tendency to want to spring back up. I'm going to cure it 5 to 7 times, 5 different directions. Then I'm going to what? Remove the matrix band, and then I'm going to clean it up with a sharp blade, a real sharp blade, 15 blade, and I'm going to polish it. Okay? That's the way I would do it in my office. Once I polish it, what am I going to do? I'm going to start to measure the occlusion. Again, I like very heavy articulated paper. Why? I want to see a mark on that baby. This thing is well polished. It's glass. They don't mark real well with occlusal paper, especially if you're going to use silk. Forget it. Absolutely forget it. Okay? So I want to use some thick, heavy articulated paper so I can find the mark, especially when it's extremely well polished. And I think that's the key here. Okay? Again, this is the introductory kit and how it comes. You can see that we have Grandio's blocks. Over here is the Future Bond. Okay? Again, snap, put the little brush in there, 2 of them, let it go. This is the silinating agent, okay? And this here is the Bifix, which is more or less the resin cement. It's going to bond that baby into place. I also love this little tip. You see that little bend in that tip? Very easy to get into distal areas and get the cement into the right spot. Again, other mistake I see is people overfill it. They fill the entire thing up. Oh my. You're going to be cleaning up for 10 days. I put a very thin little layer across the bottom. That's it. Just enough so it squeezes out barely along the margins. Okay? I don't want to get crazy with this. Very thin little coating across the bottom. Don't overfill it because then you're going to be there for days trying to do that cleanup. Another big mistake I see all the time is people overfilling this thing and then spending 20 minutes to grind out all the flash that's around there. The other thing I like about this, remember, no wedges. You saw that matrix band. Never, ever, ever, ever use a wedge. Only will cause the block not to seat all the way. Okay, why do we use a wedge, by the way, when we do composites or we do amalgam? So we can get that cervical contour. That's why you put the wedge in there. You just spent $150,000 on a CAD/CAM system that can absolutely mill a block with perfect cervical contour. Therefore, you don't need the wedge. Ever need the wedge. Okay? So I want to be real careful. I don't want anybody using wedges in there. It'll just mess it up. You can also buy a sleeve. This is what a sleeve of Grandiose blocks looks. You got like 4 here. By the way, you can buy this through Shine, through Patterson. anywhere from $160, $168 for a sleeve. Probably the best absolute investment you'll ever make. Again, you don't need every color under the sun. I'm a big A2 guy. I told you I'm A2. I carry a lot of 12s. I carry some 14s for full crowns. And I carry an assortment of different blocks, just one sleeve of different color blocks, just in case I come up that weird case. But I'd say 80% of what I do is A2 for sure. Okay, this is Bifix. For those of you that haven't used this, it's a ceramic bond. This is the material that I want to put on the block that's really going to cause it to bond into place. So very important that the block is clean before you apply this. Got to be clean, okay? This is the Bifix QM that we're talking about. This is the resin cement. And you can see here, you can see this tip. Not only does it mix it coming down the tip, okay, but it spins it into a 45-degree angle, which is really, really nice for getting into tight corners, especially on the distal of second molars. On the upper second molars are impossible. I think this tip is absolutely worth its price of gold. Whoever invented that tip should get a Nobel Peace Prize. It's amazing. Again, you can also buy a bonding kit with different try-in paste. If I'm doing a set of veneers, I like this try-in paste so I can see exactly what they look like. Otherwise, I don't use a try-in paste to do posterior restorations, only on anterior restorations. But if you buy a bonding kit, this is what it would look like. You come with multiple future bonds and multiple syringes of Bifix as well. So I think this is another great kit to have in the office.